Hello, friends. Welcome to this tradition unlike any.
What is up, everyone? Welcome into Big Drive Energy. And as you can see, we've got some special guests here today. We've got Broncos linebackers, Alex Singleton and Justin Strnad. What's up, boys? Thanks for joining us. Appreciate it.
Yeah, appreciate you having us on.
Yeah, what's good, guys?
Look at Justin. Who wants to go first?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we brought these boys on. We're going to talk about the city of Denver. Neither of them are from here, of course, but now they both live here. What it's like to live in Denver, what it's like to golf in Denver, because I know for sure playing with Justin a few times, it's fucking way different than where he grew up in Tampa.
Yeah. Well, when we went down and played in Tampa, it was way different.
Yeah, it's fucking ridiculous. Like, you can't hit the ball anywhere there.
Yeah.
Like, and you get up here, and it's just fucking moonshots.
Yeah, it just keeps going on you.
Exactly.
So first of all, Justin, for those of you guys that don't know, his nickname is Garbs. Fucking funniest thing ever. I couldn't figure out why everybody was calling him that. So before we get into the reason for that nickname, Alex, do you have any nicknames that you'd like to share so we can call you that?
No.
No, just Alex.
Yeah,
just
Alex,
straight up Alex. Love it. Okay.
Nothing that you want to admit.
I'm not going to incriminate myself.
Yeah, there you go.
1 minute into this.
Okay. Perfect.
Oh, we got plenty of time.
All right. So Garbs, why don't you tell everybody why your nickname is Garbs?
Yeah, so I mean, I got an older brother, and growing up, I mean, he kind of took advantage of that role, you know what I mean? And he had the advantage growing up, you know. He was a little older, he got stronger before I did, all that type of stuff. So he could beat me in a lot of things growing up, and he kind of always used to just mess with me and call me garbage. And like, it kind of just like stuck. Like, he started calling me like, and it was like to antagonize me at first. And then as I continued to play sports and growing up, like, everyone in my family was just like, hey, Garbs, like, Garbs. And now, I mean, no one in my family calls me Justin. It's just Garbs. Like, everyone in the family.
See, I think that's dope, though, because when you tell everybody that's your nickname, nobody can like talk. You're like, my nickname's Garbage. Like,
yeah, exactly.
Nobody who's gonna talk shit to me. I literally call myself that.
Exactly.
So
yeah.
I respect that, but it's also kind of funny because you're in the fucking NFL. So
yeah, it works out. Yeah.
Yeah, it worked out pretty well. I think Nick would trade places with you if he could, but
Exactly. Yeah.
So, first of all, how's OTAs going? I know for you, you've been a Bronco for a couple years. You're new to the scene. What's the feel this year? Because just from an outsider's perspective, obviously, it seems like a blast. Hackett seems like a fucking lunatic, but he seems fun. How does that feel this year especially compared to like the last couple of years?
You want it? It's your first OTA, right? It's your first full one, isn't it?
Yeah, it actually is.
Yeah, look, you know.
Yeah, no, so,
young buck,
I mean,
you know?
yeah, I mean, it's been good. I mean, it's from a coaching standpoint and a team standpoint, I will say it's a lot different from the previous 2 years. Obviously, my first year I was injured, so it was a little different. But like, just the staff, like Hackett, like you said, like it's really exciting to come to work every day. You know what I mean? Like, just we got hoops in the meeting rooms, and although you're there to handle business and with everything, they make it like fun to an extent. I mean, today we finished practice and two of the coaches raced each other to end practice. You know what I mean? Stuff like that. Just keep the energy high. You know, it's been good. But as far as OTAs have gone, I mean, it's been awesome. I mean, having Alex join the room has been cool. Josie, Jonas, everybody, Barrington, and some of the young guys. I mean, we've all been working hard, and having Russell out there pushing. Obviously, he's pushing the offense hard, but I mean, to compete against him day in and day out is obviously pretty crazy growing up watching him. So
yeah, 100%. And that's what's crazy is like, you're young enough to where like he doesn't seem that old, but then you realize he's been in the NFL. I think this is what is going to be his 11th year.
Yeah,
and you're like, fuck,
that's fucking insane. Like, that's absolutely nuts. I saw Hackett running routes the other day. Wasn't he pretty fucking good out at wideout?
Yeah, he's got a little movement.
Who was he running against? Was it Simmons was trying to cover him? It was some. They posted something on social media, but
he's always doing something offensively.
Yeah,
like,
dude, he seems like I need whatever drugs he's on, because that dude's just going like all the time. Like, his energy's on another level, and the difference between him and Fangio, you can just tell in the room. Like, being an outsider, you can tell there's just a different vibe. So you coming from Philadelphia last year, what's the difference there? Like, is it a little bit more low key here, or a little bit more energy?
You know, I was in Philly, the last 3 years, and we went through a coaching change. The Doug Peterson, Jim Schwartz era of Philly. The Super Bowl, the 2017 Super Bowl, and that was a good coaching staff. I love those guys. But then last year, Nick Sirianni came in from the Colts, who's that kind of younger coaching staff vibe, kind of like we have here now. And so I think when you bring in, and I wouldn't even say Philly was a bad situation. I think we had that down year in 19, and 20 obviously made the playoffs, and 17, 18, 19.
Yeah, talk about a roller coaster.
So it's just a roller coaster situation. I mean, that's just Philly in general. But it's kind of how it is here. Just how they talk, like the situation, but players and coaches, whatever it was last year is what it was. I think people saw it from the outside, and just the energy, the competitiveness, the excitement, like you're seeing from Hackett. That's what we had in Sirianni and Philly. It brings this new energy, this excitement, and obviously they're offensive first coaches, so the competitiveness is fun because they're always backing the quarterbacks, they're backing the receivers. So, and defense is usually the first ones to start talking shit. They're the first ones. The first day of any training camp, any competitive time, usually in football, defense. It's not, the installs aren't as long. It's not as much. So we fine tune it a little faster. So you're kind of going out there the first few days and you're beating up the offense.
Yeah.
And they don't have a lot to say for a while. But then eventually, they start clicking. Like we saw, Russell, Russell's new with a bunch of new receivers. And, it takes a little bit. And, once, it does click, and if it clicks insane. 4 or 5 times in a row, we're out there like, dang, Hackett's running down the field celebrating. You're like, God damn it. Like,
it kind of flips on you a little bit.
And it flips. And that's, that's what the new energy, the excitement that, a team that's, definitely, you feel the buzz, just going anywhere in the city.
Okay.
You can tell, and that, that's how it is at practice too. It's how it is in the building every day. It's an exciting time, obviously, to be a Denver Bronco.
That's fucking awesome, dude. I love that. So who is the biggest shit talker on defense and who's the biggest shit talker on offense? And I don't know if your guys' answers are going to be the same, so you guys can go separate, but
I would say K-Jack and Hackett.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, K-Jack's a no-brainer defensively.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I mean, he gets a bunch of vet days. He's out there just, he's going to let you know how he feels every single day.
Oh, for sure.
Offensively, I mean, I'd probably Hackett.
Probably Hackett.
That's awesome.
Russell's such a down to business guy. He'll celebrate, and he's more like I'll build the offense up. We're a team, so I'm not going to tear you guys down. And a lot of guys on defense are like, yeah, well, we don't give a shit.
Right. Like you almost want that sometimes. You're like, dude, talk shit to me. But it also pisses you off when you get cooked, and then he's like, oh, dude, it's okay, or just doesn't say anything. You're like, I'd rather get talked shit to. Like, don't treat it like 100%. It's okay because I'm pissed off.
It was good coverage. I just read it. You're like,
you're like, exactly. Fuck off, dude. Yeah. You just beat me. Like, that was bad on my part. So, okay, I feel that. That's dope.
But I would definitely say a little bit of Hackett lately.
Dude, that's
these first few weeks, which is the same. I think it's just that competitive energy that.
And just pushing you guys.
Yeah, 100%. It's even pre-practice. How the coaches always walk up and down the lines. He'll come up and be like, yeah, yesterday was fun. Wait for today. Yeah. I'm just okay, here we go.
That sounds like.
Which makes it fun though.
Yeah, for sure.
That's it. So in OTAs, every year you see it, it surfaces from some teams on Twitter, the team gets in a fight, and I love it personally.
I think that shit's electric.
Do you guys what do you guys feel about that? Obviously it's hot out, it's fucking hot today. You guys are out there fucking, sweating your ass off. You're fucking getting, especially if Hackett's doing shit or it's practice, so they got to set shit up so the offense can do certain things, and you really can't. You're not you're supposed to stop it, but at the same time you're supposed to let them do their shit.
You're like,
but
not in my house.
How do you guys feel about when shit like that happens? You guys, is it like a room versus a room thing where the linebacker's like, yo, we're getting fucking, I'm sick of this shit, we're going to shove somebody around and it's cool? Or is it not a good thing? Because they always talk about, oh, that's shows
divides
that they're,
a locker room,
exactly,
stuff
and shit like that.
I mean, I think it goes both ways. In the game of football, you got to have a mindset, you know what I mean? Nobody's going to mess with you type of mind, you know what I mean? Type of that. And it's just, when that stuff like that happens, it's all right, you got two competitive guys kind of last year's, I think the last couple of years, Bulls and Chubb always go at it. And I mean, it's just, when you got a field full of just competitive guys, you know what I mean? That's what they've been doing their whole life. You get beat, you're going to want to beat someone else. You know what I mean?
You're legit fighting for your job out there.
Yeah, it's just, exactly. Yeah. You're literally fighting to provide for your family.
Yeah.
And, you know what I mean? And I would just say, it's just, you got to be smart. It's not worth it to punch your teammate and then you're out for the season or something. You know what I mean? That doesn't help the team, but I mean, in the game of football, I think you're always going to have things like that.
Yeah, I'm sure there's heated moments where you're like, I just want to beat the shit out of this dude. I don't care who he is, if he's my teammate or whatever, but you feel like you get punked or some shit, and you're like, I'm not playing. Yeah. I could see how that would happen.
And it is such a position-wise more thing. Like, you always see DBs and receivers because they're always, one-on-ones is a super competitive time in the day.
Yeah.
I would say O-line and D-line are big. Linebackers kind of fit into that. If you do a lot of team periods that day, linebackers kind of, that front seven will fight. But it's not, like running backs rotate so much when you're in that you could hate one, but you won't see him for 6 more plays. So by the time you're back up to, like, you don't hate the guy anymore. You're like, I'm tired. I just ran 5 more plays. I don't do whatever you want. Like, I'm just going to tag off and then go make this next call.
Yeah, no joke.
And those guys, but yeah, you see, I mean, especially the dudes who do one-on-ones all the time, the O-line, D-line, then it carries over into team period, team 1, team 2, okay, 7 on now. They're doing, one-on-ones on air, but they're still talking shit to each other. They come back to the team period. Now it's team pass. Okay, first 2 moves, whatever happens, they're going. Like, it's been building the whole
It's like
time.
if you played the same team 16 weeks over, because you're facing the same. If you're number one and they're number one, like, you're facing them all summer.
Yeah.
So it's just like, I'm sure that animosity builds up, and over time it just probably boils over a little bit.
Oh, yeah. Well, especially now, like, we're in helmets right now, so no one's really. You don't fight as much in OTAs. Like, if people do, it does happen. But it's not huge. It usually kind of builds up right now because we get weekends off. We have days off every couple days. So
Thank God.
It's not it's not the 19 days in a row grind where you don't see another person. You're in the same locker room with these dudes for 12 hours a day. So you kind of it builds now. You can feel, you kind of start. Everyone starts picking who they don't like. I don't like how that guy pulled me. And you remember. I mean, everyone remembers it for the next 2 months, especially when we go home in a week.
Oh yeah.
You go home for a month and a half, and you're just like, I hate that dude.
You're like, I don't fucking like that guy.
Yeah, then you get into camp and it's just
It's on
day in, day out for so many days. And I mean, people just obviously get frustrated or fatigued, whatever it is, and the stuff builds up in camp. For sure.
Oh, I'm sure. Well, speaking of helmets, have you ever I think one of the single dumbest things in football is when dudes punch somebody else in the fucking helmet. Like, how bad does that hurt? Have either of you ever punched somebody in the helmet?
I mean, never in like a fight, but you've definitely like had your hand hit a helmet.
Oh, for sure.
I mean, I've shattered my thumb just
on a
tackling
helmet.
Somebody on a helmet.
Oh,
and like,
fuck.
So yeah, it happens. You guys, even better is when a guy gets in a fight and takes his helmet off and drops it and tries to fight a guy with a helmet. It's like
right.
Who? What?
Yeah,
that doesn't fucking add up.
Probably not the winner.
Yeah, I just think it's probably about the dumbest fucking thing you can do. Like when you see some guy just swing it. Was it AJ Green?
Yeah,
when
him and Jalen Ramsey.
On top of him, I'm like, dude, you're probably just hurting yourself right now.
Yeah.
But I guess when you get that pissed, it just kind of happens. So.
Yeah.
Hey, you forget what's around you.
Yeah, no doubt.
Don't you guys for training camp? Don't you like stay in a hotel too, so you can't even go home, or is that an old thing?
So.
I would say because of COVID, it changed. With COVID, they had to put everybody the first year in like your own single rooms for travel, and they kind of were just like, that's too expensive. Most hotels, I mean, now you're renting a whole hotel instead of like, I think it was like year 4, you got your own room. Everything under that you were sharing. So it's kind of, since COVID, the rules have changed. So it's usually you get to stay at home now, which
that's nice.
Makes camp 50, 100, 200 times better.
Yeah,
like it's
sleeping in your own bed.
Unreal.
There's nothing like it.
Yeah. It's
even though that's about the only thing you're doing during camp, literally you get home, lay in bed.
Yeah, what do your guys' hours look like when you're in camp? Like,
so the last 2 years, it's been, I mean, if you're eating breakfast and stuff, you get to the facility around 6 a.m. I mean, if you have treatment, it's like 5 a.m., 5:30 a.m. treatment starts, and you don't get, I mean, you're not done until 7, 8 o'clock at
holy
least.
Shit.
Yeah.
That's some serious days.
And that would say, like, that's later in camp. I mean, there's days you're there 9 or 10.
Yeah,
if you're a younger guy.
I was being,
Yeah, fuck yeah, dude. That, so you're new-ish to Denver.
Yeah,
you're kind of new to Denver. You came here a couple years ago. What do you guys think of like the city? Like, especially now. So obviously this is a golf podcast. We don't really typically talk too much about golf, though. We usually fucking talk about other
we
sports.
just bullshit about
everything.
everything.
So like this Cup run the Avs are going on right now, which is dope. But like, what do you guys think of the city compared to you growing up in Tampa? You grew up in California, but have been to Philly, Calgary for a while. Like, what is it? What's the difference? What do you guys like about Denver?
you want to say anything?
Man, I will say, the first the few days I was here, we went to what game was it? The first round?
When the Avs were playing?
Yeah, they played the Blues. Then we went to like game 2 at home, and the sports energy is great. Especially hockey wise. Living in Calgary and Philly, huge hockey towns. Like
100%.
I obviously don't know how the regular season is here. I would almost maybe might hate a lot of Avs fans might hate it. I would assume it's a little bit like the King in LA. fans, if you're not winning, you're not showing up. If you're winning games, they'll show up.
For sure.
And Calgary and Philly, they're there.
That's
every
all
night.
it
is.
That's all they have in Calgary. Philly,
Calgary,
they've got some.
and Philly's just a pro sports, city.
Oh, for sure.
And there isn't else much going on the East Coast. Denver, you can do a lot more things than go sit at a hockey game with a team that's not winning games. But
no doubt,
the energy around it now is, it's wild. Like, just, you can feel it. It's always there, and that's what's exciting about it.
Absolutely.
He's been in Tampa, and I'm sure.
I was gonna say, so how do you think it compares to Tampa? You're a Lightning fan, but we won't talk about that.
No, one thing I would say is the fan base out here, in general, the last 2 years we obviously haven't made the playoffs and stuff, but it's later in the season you're leaving the game and there's still the fan base is just crazy support. Every fan base, when you're losing, they're gonna have their things to say and things like that, but the fans have been they're so supportive even when things aren't going well for us. You know what I mean? They show that support, and just going to the Avs games, the Rockies games, it's they have good turnouts. You know what I mean? The Rockies aren't a MLB powerhouse, but they have pretty good turnout. I just went to the game, we both went to the game Sunday, and there was pretty good turnout. You know what I mean? So
absolutely.
That's one thing that I've seen here is the fan base is very strong.
Well, and I will say the Broncos, I think in all of sports, probably have a top 10 fan base.
Yeah,
dedicated.
Yeah.
Even when we have bad years, like the last 1 or 2 years, there's maybe 5,000 seats that aren't filled.
Exactly.
And there's you look in Cleveland, you look in a lot of different places, the stadium's half full, less than half full. You'll never see that here. We could go 1 in 15 and the stadium's still going to be 3/4 of the way full at least. So
yeah, well, we go to an away game every year, at least one. This year we're going to London, so that'll be fucking sick.
That'll be sick.
But every year we go, we've been going since 2012 or 13, and other than I've been to KC a few times. Obviously that's mostly KC fans, but last year in Dallas,
they're terrible.
Fucking the fucking AT&T Stadium was half orange jerseys, bro. The fan base travels so fucking well, and we were in Nashville. That was when Aqib Talib fought Harry Douglas, and it's all Broncos fans. They're especially lesser teams or teams with not a great fan base. The Broncos just take that shit over, and I'm stoked for when we go to Wembley. That shit's gonna be orange. Yeah, it's fucking
when
cool.
we played the Chargers last year, even for that trip, you know what I mean? That trip, we came out of the tunnel and it was more orange jerseys than Chargers colors, you know what I mean? And although that stadium was so big, I felt it's hard to fill that stadium up.
No joke.
You know what I mean? But yeah, time in, time out, fan base always shows up.
Well, and the cool thing, so this is, we've had some down years Broncos wise, but this is a Broncos town. And
Exactly.
The fucking biggest cheers you get at Avs, Nuggets, and Rockies games are when you guys are there and they fucking show you on the thing, and it's Denver, fucking
Dalton Reisner chugging a beer.
And Coach Hackett, they went crazy.
Yeah, they go crazy for Hackett. I remember when Hackett came over here, it was his first day, or right after he got hired, and him and Justin Outen were sitting fucking.
At the Nuggets game,
literally fucking showed him on the screen, dude. The place was louder than the whole game.
Yeah,
and same with the Avs game when Wilson was there.
Yeah,
when it was a playoff game, dude, and it the loudest cheer that entire game, it went up twice as much. Just showing Russell Wilson, absolutely insane.
But yeah, the city of Denver, it's low key. I feel like certain players, you can have a family here, but there's also a good city life in Denver, which I think it's dope.
Probably not as much city life. You got places like Atlanta. What was the nightlife like in Philly? Was it a little more low key, or was it pretty popping?
No, probably a mix. It's an East Coast city. Everything's small. It's all small. Small bars, small clubs. But we also all, because it's a little different dynamic. So in Philly, the facility and the stadium are in the city. And so a lot of the guys, if you were single, you lived in downtown Philly.
Yeah.
There was no exception. That's where you lived. Because guys with families lived in Jersey, and they drove 25 minutes in because that's where the suburbs are. And Philly, I was showing him on the way here, it's just row homes. And, it's a different, East Coast is a different way of living compared, the streets can be, there's some blocks that are, 6 feet, 7 feet wide.
Yeah.
They're built in the 1760s.
Yeah, which is insane.
Wild place. And here, we're in the suburbs. I think every guy on the team almost, lives down in Centennial area, around that area because it's where our facility is. It makes sense. If you want to drive that 30 minutes to live in the city. But it's also, the few weekends I've been here, I've been going out and having a good time in the city. And
Hell yeah,
it's been it's been fun. A lot of a lot of breweries here, a lot of rooftop bars to go to.
There's nothing better than a rooftop bar in the
no,
summertime.
I couldn't agree more.
Yeah.
And this is the best place for it. Yeah, great.
The weather, everything, dude.
Yeah,
the views too.
The views,
absolutely.
You're not getting
that's the only reason that I ever go to Coors Field is to get drunk and fucking look at the mountains. Like the Rockies are terrible. Fucking. I hate
What do you think of the
shit about
uniform?
them.
The mountain.
The
uniforms
driver's
there?
license looking uniforms.
Yeah.
That's funny. That is
Dude,
what that looked like. Now
Yeah, dude, that's 100% what it was.
Yeah.
But they wouldn't admit that, so I think everybody was kind of like giving him shit for just say it's supposed to look like the license plate. And but I don't know, dude. Other than the green, I didn't love the green, but I actually liked the mountain. Like I thought it was kind of cool looking overall, just the weird colors, like.
But I think you said it. We were like, why don't the mountaintops have snow on them?
Yeah.
There's the mountaintops here have snow on them year round. You can't argue that. So the jersey, I mean, you should have had some snow covered.
Yeah,
it definitely got some fucking flack when it came out. Like people were like, "What the fuck?" Is
like
this?
we're not bad enough, and then they gotta release those shit jerseys. And
Yeah, I was in the shop looking at jerseys because I bought a Trevor Story jersey too.
I was
We tried to talk you out of that, bro.
Yeah,
I tried.
I mean, it was gonna be him or Arenado. I mean, it wouldn't have worked out either way. But I was looking at the shop and I'm like, I wouldn't buy that. Like,
what is this dude's name? Like, is he going to be on the squad in 3 years?
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
Yeah, dude, that's the toughest thing buying a jersey is, I mean, it's nice to buy your favorite player, but at the end of the day, you're like, are they going to be around? Like, I don't want this jersey to...
Exactly.
Because it may be an irrational thing for me, but it bugs the shit out of me when I see somebody wearing a jersey of, like, a virtual, like, no-name from, like, 15 years ago. It's like, either get, like, just don't get a name on a jersey or get a current jersey. Like, I'm not trying to shame people there, but, like, just don't wear their jersey. Like, we see that a lot of Avs games, Nuggets games, shit like that, and that just bugs me. So, like, with the Rockies, I wouldn't buy a jersey for, like, 5 or 10 years until the full rebuild happens, other than Kyle Freeland.
Yeah, because
Freeland's
Colorado.
Kid, so. Yeah, you can wear that no matter what around here.
Yeah.
So speaking of jerseys, I personally think, and I've been fighting for this, so the Broncos went to orange, I think, the first year Peyton was here. And it used to be the fucking white pants with the blue top. What is your guys' preference? Because, like, I think last year in Dallas you wore, like, what, all blue? That looks
all
fucking
blue
sick.
is
No,
fire.
so in Dallas it was just regular.
Oh,
orange
in Dallas
and white.
it was orange because they flipped
The
it.
Chiefs game was all blue.
Yeah.
I think the blue jerseys are the best. By that's just my personal opinion.
100%.
Yeah.
I play in a Madden league and I'm the Broncos, and I fucking when I'm at home I change the jersey to blue top, white pants.
Yeah.
I think it's the best looking jersey. Like the helmets are already dope. Like the color scheme's dope, but like I don't know. I'm just not a big fan of the orange jerseys, other than the fact it like stands out. It's like so different than any other team, but like I'm a big blue jersey guy.
I do remember like growing up and you like you guys had it, the blue stripe that like went up the leg actually went from jersey to pant and matched, same color, and went up. I thought that like I vividly remember that as a kid, like. And
like
that was
Terrell
a Bronco
Davis.
game. Yeah, that's right. You like can see that in your mind all the time when you think about it.
Yeah.
But like you were saying, when a team, because blue, a lot of teams have blue. Like if you're wearing a blue jersey in Dallas, no one knows if you're a Cowboys fan or you're a Broncos fan. And so like the orange, I do like that. Like when you go somewhere, it's like, oh, that dude's a Bronco fan. Like
that's true.
It makes that stadium wherever you go, like
feel
there's the Bronco fans. Like it, and that so for that aspect of it. I love it, and it's probably why they did. It makes sense. When you're playing away games, it shows a crowd. You can't hide orange jerseys.
Yeah,
you can hide blue, you can hide white. Orange, you're not hiding in any stadium.
That makes sense. I actually like that. Hell yeah!
So,
I always wear orange to away games. Well, because it's been orange for the last however many years, and I even remember you're kind of full of shit because when it was navy. He was like, "Oh, dude, orange would look so sick," and then for like 2 years, you're like, "Oh, this is so sick," and then 2 years later, you're like, "I miss the navy," and it's like, dude, you got to pick one.
Well, yeah, I wanted to go to orange because like the blue, like it's been since we were fucking born, basically that we were blue. So I was like, "Oh, cool, switch it to orange. It's totally different." And now I'm like, "Fuck."
I want to go with the
let's
old
go back.
school like the old school bucking horse logo. That logo is so sick.
Why no? Like, is it like in?
But you can now. No, you can.
They
just
added
allowed
the rule.
that, right?
So I know because every team can have a second helmet, and you can have like another alternate jersey. I don't know because there's like rules to however many you have to like submit them. I guess like now this time of the year you have to submit what you're gonna wear. I don't know, it's all
Yeah, it's so weird how like shit like that
NFL.
works out.
Like,
and you
why
guys
can't
like
you just wear a
fucking
jersey?
can't wear certain cleats and shit like that. Like But do you guys remember when the Broncos, like it was probably 6 or 7 years ago, when we had Kyle Orton as our quarterback? We wore those
That was
fucking
longer
brown
than-
and yellow fucking jerseys.
Yes.
Oh, that was actually
with the
probably,
socks, the high.
that was probably
Orton
like
was
10
like
years
10
ago.
years ago.
10 years ago.
I'd put those
something
on
like
in
that.
Madden every now and again just to mix it up.
Oh yeah, those are.
It
those
is
are
one of
fire.
those ones where like they would look if you wore it every week, it'd be like, "How we look like shit and piss." But like,
Exactly.
That is
the
100%
yellow
what it
brown
is.
color scheme.
but like
is
if
not
you wear it
good.
once every 4 or 5 years, you're like, "Oh, those are
A
dope."
sick throwback.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm sure that's a jersey like you guys want to keep it. Like
Yeah, you have-
You're
yeah.
like, oh, this is dope. Like I'll
Yeah.
hang on to this. So
So do you guys like the number change too? That you can wear pretty much whatever you want now. Like, does it matter to you guys? I mean, you guys are what? You're 49 for
Yeah.
it, right? And then 40.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's pretty cool for some of the guys that want to go single. I mean, when you see like I don't know different positions like DNs wearing single digits, I mean, it's a good mix up. I
Yeah.
mean, I will say before it happened, I was kind of like just being this like a sports junkie. I was kind of like,
dude, he hated it.
yeah, because it
I
kind of is like
classic.
the pros are, you know what I mean? The
Yeah.
pros is was like
Yeah.
you had your certain numbers you had to be, and then college was like you can do whatever you want, like
For sure.
So I don't know, but I mean, it's cool.
Well,
for
dude,
everybody.
he's
Fuck
he's
whatever
like
they want.
Rain Man with like sports numbers. I could ask him like anybody's number,
Yeah.
and he'd know exactly what it was. So when everybody started changing, I think he had like a panic attack, like he couldn't handle it. He's like, I don't know what everybody's number is.
Well, like Randy Gregory wearing 5 is gonna be fucking sick. Patrick
Yeah.
Surtain wearing 2, I think that's dope. But like
Yeah.
the fucking just there's certain numbers that just like look like a corner should be like 20 to 29. In my opinion, like
I know what you're saying.
a
Yeah,
corner
yeah.
wearing 30 looks like he's gonna get burnt to me. You know, like
Yeah.
in the third, like you're wearing 37, you're a corner. You're
I do,
getting-
yeah, and like you were saying, I think it is like being a professional. Like it's the difference of like
Yeah.
in college.
yeah, it's
like,
almost like an honor to have that,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
a
yeah.
number that's like
Yeah.
I'm a linebacker in the NFL.
it's like wearing a
Exactly,
suit to
yeah.
work. Like you earned to wear that suit. Like
yeah.
rock it.
Now you
know.
can just work from home. Now
Yeah.
it's wear
Now
whatever
you-
fucking number you want.
If you want to wear sweats still,
Yeah, there you go.
So we want to tell you guys first real quick about DraftKings Sportsbook. So NBA Finals, real quick, picks.
Celtics.
I'm
I
a
know.
big Celtics. Yeah, I'm a big
Celtics in,
Celtics in 6.
Celtics in 6.
I've like strictly become a Celtics finals, like Celtics playoffs because of him. Like in the long, I mean, he is.
I've been on the Celtics since it
You've
started.
been riding
He
that
is
train.
Stephen A. Strnad. Like,
Oh, that's
Oh,
a good nickname.
God.
Oh, he goes
All the
around
hot
locker-
takes.
oh yeah.
Every day in the locker room. we
But
go
like
hot
single-handedly has made me a Celtics probably in 5 or 6. Like
Hell yeah.
takes. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, Justin Simmons. I have to get on him a little bit here, but I mean, he has said the Celtics are going to lose every single series they've been in. He picked Brooklyn in I think 5 or 6, swept. I mean, he took Miami, Milwaukee. I mean, it's just
His pockets are getting a little light then, huh?
no, it's going to take a long time for those things to get
You're
away.
right.
those pockets, yeah.
Yeah, those are some deep pockets.
Well, you guys can bet on the NBA with DraftKings Sportsbook, which is an official sports betting partner of the NBA. New customers can get $150 in free bets on any $5 bet if you sign up and use that promo code DNVR. You can also do same game parlays, which are a fucking blast. Combining like Jason Tatum points, Steph Curry points, under on Klay Thompson threes because he's trash right now. But you can download the DraftKings Sportsbook app, use that promo code DNVR, and make a $5 bet and get $150 in free bets instantly. Must be 21 or older, Colorado only, new customers only. Minimum of $5 deposit. Restrictions do apply. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for details. And if you have a gambling problem, call 1-800-522-4700. All right, another awesome sponsor of this podcast is Manscaped, and I'm going to hand this to Alex over here because we were talking about this earlier, and I was like, yeah, dude, Manscaped, and he's like, bro, I had my girl, and she was fucking... So why don't you tell us a little bit about Manscaped, bro?
Yeah, no, what is it? No pricks, no.
I got the talking points right here.
Yeah, it keeps you clean. It,
Where at?
sip to...
Every-
you won't, whether you or your significant other decides to trim your ball hair, you will not get any nicks. And yeah, I mean, I live by it. It's crazy.
yeah,
like,
dude, it's
I mean, let a woman go down there. She's it might lose a hole, might lose what you want. And now it keeps it clean. It's nice.
Love that.
I
So
love it.
you can get the lawnmower 4.0. They have the whole the beard trimmer. They've got like a foot spray. They've got like a ball deodorant. They've got everything. So make sure you guys check that out, especially since Father's Day is right around the corner. You guys want to get that lawnmower 4.0? Use our promo code BDE. And at manscaped.com, and you're getting 20% off any of those products. So make sure you check that out.
Hell yeah.
I don't know if I'd buy it for your dad though, because your mom will be.
Yeah.
Then you have to think about that
want
scenario.
that mental
Yeah.
image. You're like, yeah.
So just close. Maybe just get him the face one.
Just get him the face rub.
I'm sure
and-
you could get some of the boys in the locker room some of that stuff, and that'd help a little bit. Maybe like the foot spray, things like that. I bet it gets a little smelly in there. So, yeah, that's
It's a lot better than a college locker room, I can tell you that.
Oh, really?
High school, even worse.
Oh yeah, like at least you have people doing your laundry,
Yeah.
so that's got to keep it pretty clean. But
Yeah.
all right, should we? Well, let's ask. I want to ask one more football question. Do you have any more
Go
football questions?
for it.
So who do you guys think we're playing in the Super Bowl this year?
Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
That'd
I'm
be
not
it.
just saying that because I'm a Tampa native, but I do think that they have a very good team.
That'd be such a sick matchup.
I mean, them signing Akeem Hicks, like people might not really understand.
What
how
happened
big
there?
of a
Why
deal-
was he not signed, bro? I couldn't figure that out.
I mean, he's a little bit older at this point, and I feel like some teams are like maybe like, oh, we don't want to pay a guy who's not like he's not a predominant pass rusher. He's a run stuffing. Not that he can't, you know what I mean? But
Yeah.
I mean, for them to get him and Vita Vea, that's like you like aren't gonna be running the ball through the A gaps and probably not the B gaps. Like you're gonna have to, you know what I mean? Like
Changes
it's
the
big
game.
for it changes the game for their defense, and then obviously Tom Brady. I mean. They'll be
Okay.
very good offensively.
I feel you, dude. What about?
Yeah, I mean, I would
Say-
love a revenge game against Philly. That'd be nice. I don't think sad. I hope
For
they
sure.
do. It'd be fun. It's the Rams. They're. I mean, not much has changed. They got Bobby,
Yeah.
who I think is a huge addition. To that defense. Like we were saying, you're not. I mean, we'll see how he is in a new system. I'm excited to see how he's in a new system. But yeah, I mean, they're still set up for success. I think it'll be them and Tampa playing it out probably.
Hell yeah.
And when they got Aaron Donald, I mean,
Yeah. That's,
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's
they
sick.
just,
the game
gave him a
completely.
bag, bro. Like,
Yeah, they
he
just
just
gave him
He
quarterback
deserves
money.
it.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
deserves it. So,
That's insane.
who's your guys' picks?
Ooh. Yeah, I can't really go against Tampa Bay with Tom Brady there. You just look like a fool if you pick against him. Dude, the Rams, like any LA franchise I just naturally don't like. Did you
No.
grow up an LA fan or
No, I was actually gonna say like the Packers also if they figure out
Yeah.
a little special teams and a little
a little help
get some
around?
receivers. I mean Aaron I try biased trainer there and so like I know how good of a quarterback he is, and like so you just like I hope he wins just seeing
For sure.
and I think he deserves it like
Talent wise, dude, I think he
losing
might
to
be
San
the most.
Fran 13 to 10 and
Yeah.
Yeah.
two
The
block
field,
punts
yeah.
like and
Yeah.
a block punt to block field goal like that's tough to put on him when he could have been in Tampa the next weekend like
Oh, absolutely, dude.
battling out with Tom, it would have been a whole different.
100%. Well, that's a team that I actually think, as crazy as it sounds, I think San Francisco, they're just so nasty.
Yeah.
And that's why when we got fucking K'Wan Williams and fucking DJ Jones,
yeah.
bro, like he's just like flew under the radar. So my girl's a Niners fan, and like she was sad to see them go, but obviously
Yeah.
they came to her second favorite
Yeah.
team, so she's like, fuck yeah. But yeah, those guys,
Dude,
like,
DJ Jones just looks like a propane tank with ears on him. Like,
Oh, yeah.
he's just fucking like stopping anything that comes in between him and the ball or
Yeah, he's
whatever.
like a pit bull.
Yeah, that's what.
Literally.
That's what it seems like, dude.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. And I will say one other thing about like the Bucks is like me and him talk about it too is like Leonard Fournette, like people really like obviously he got drafted very high coming out of college, but like he's like I would say one of the best running backs in the NFL that like
You think he's one of the most underrated, for sure?
Yeah, I mean he obviously just got paid a decent amount, but like
Yeah.
he's one of the guys he's one of the harder people that like I haven't played against him personally, but like watching I'm
Yeah.
a football junkie, like he's one of the best running backs in the NFL in my opinion.
yeah, dude, he got such a shit scenario when he got drafted to Jacksonville, and like even his rookie season, like he had nothing around him and nobody could stop him still. And so it's
Yeah.
cool to see him in like a cool situation like that where I mean he's got fucking Tom Brady. They just got weapons all over the place. But dude, I just can't believe Brady. I mean I can believe Brady's back. Like you just kind of knew it was coming, but like
Yeah.
that motherfucker, man. I just like I
Is
don't
this
know.
his last year?
fuck. If they, I think
never say-
I think he's going out on a dub. Like, so I think if he if he doesn't win the Super Bowl the next 3-4, I mean, at some point he's gonna have to fucking retire.
Yeah.
But I
So
think
you could see him going another 3 or 4.
I could, yeah. I think if he wins,
Dude, he
though,
looks
he's
the
out.
exact same as he looked.
But
5,
does it
6
take him
years-
3 or 4 to win another one like that?
Right. Hopefully, he never wins another one. Like,
I know.
ideally, but it's just tough to fucking stop that guy. He's a menace.
All right, let's talk a little fucking golf. So I think
This is a golf podcast.
This is
kind of.
yeah. We just
Yeah,
love
let's talk
sports
some
so
golf.
fucking much. So all right, so Garbs, you fucking golf a lot. I'm fucking jealous. Like I'm always like looking. At
Yeah,
your
he's
story,
always
like, this
posting. You
motherfucker's
guys were at
golfing
Saddle
daily.
Rock. You guys were at. Well, you come out to Spring Valley. You guys were. Have you been down to Bear Dance yet?
Yeah, we just
Bear
went there a
Dance is
couple-
sick.
Yeah.
There's quite a few like out towards the facility. I mean, have you guys played City Park yet?
No.
Right here dude, it's like 2 blocks from the bar here.
Yeah.
So sick, and the
Really?
views of downtown, unreal, and everything. So much fun.
Yeah,
You
it's a
guys have
great
to-
fucking track.
It's just hard to get on. I mean,
Yeah.
you might have to like.
Some of
tell-
the like top of the line courses, I'm like, I want to wait until I become like an elite, not an elite, you know what I mean, like a really good golfer to like go play at like,
For
the
sure.
top. But we've played some really good ones. I mean, especially this OTAs, like some of the guys we've been trying to get Alex out there. He's gonna when we go back in the
Coming.
summer, he's gonna get his clubs out.
Okay.
But I mean, Josie, Sam Martin, B-Mac's been gone, but he's obviously a big golfer. Jay Sims, Cortland. I mean,
Dude, we
we've-
see Court out of Spring Valley quite a bit.
yeah, we've all been playing a lot during OTAs, and it's so fun going out there with them and playing.
Hell yeah.
When did you start playing golf? Did you start like when you were older, or did you start younger and then just kind of keep going with it?
Yeah, I started when I was up in Calgary. A
No
bunch
shit.
of guys wanted to play, kind of the same situation here, and they're like, "Let's go play." And so I went to some place, and the lady was like, "Here, we have these rental clubs, and those are the clubs I still have." And they're like, "Oh, they're terrible, but just just regular shafts. I think they're like too short. They're it's
Yeah, they
it-
probably
you
don't
know-
fit you very well.
Oh yeah, it's terrible. And so that's why they've been fighting for me. And like once I go to Cal, this weekend I am going to get fully fitted.
Oh,
and
okay.
I will have clubs in the
Okay.
next month, hopefully.
Hell yeah. Well, are you going to push them towards a certain brand? I know you're a big Bryson fan, which we can get into here in a bit. Cause
No,
got
I
a
am,
bone
but
to pick with you about
I have the
that.
Sims. I have the Sim 2s.
Okay.
Or whatever. Yeah. It's like I got all Sims.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm not good enough to like know what's really legit and what
For sure.
You know what I mean?
It
I'm
almost
still-
comes down to like brand loyalty, like what you
Yeah.
think looks cool, or
Oh, yeah.
if you know somebody that plays that equipment, you're like, oh yeah, I'll play that stuff. But
Yeah. I
Yeah.
will say with how hard I swing, I probably should be playing like Cobra. I don't know if they actually have like some.
get you in
extra
those
stiff-
DeChambeau single.
Hey, here
single
I
leg.
still like slid that back in. Like,
Yeah,
hey,
I do
yo,
have-
but,
I do have-
I do like Cobra.
I just hit it so hard, bro. I should probably be swinging something. A little
when I read my
stiffer.
numbers, they're the exact same.
Me and DeChambeau, you put them side by side. You can't even
I
tell
use the
difference.
DeChambeau jumbo grips on my clubs. I will
Okay.
say I do that. And my dad actually, he's tried probably every club and every brand in a span of 3 years. He's literally like, he just called me the other day. He's like, yeah, just left the PGA shop. You know what? I didn't plan on it when I went in there, but bought the Stealth. Like he's like bought the Stealth. He's like,
Dude,
so
golf's
excited.
a fucking crazy addiction,
Oh
man.
yeah.
But that is the thing you see a lot of people do is like they'd rather change their equipment than actually work on their game. So
Oh, yeah,
that's
that's stupid.
That's a pretty Who does that?
The fucking club's
That's my
fault.
thing.
I'm
Is
not
like I'm
practicing.
keeping these clubs
Wasting
until I become like legitimate, and then I'm going to try and like get like a legit set where I like take care of them completely and all that.
For
stuff.
sure. So kind of a 2-part question for you guys, but what's your favorite course? So you haven't played in Colorado yet?
No.
Okay. So what's your favorite course you've ever played?
Oh man, I mean,
Just like most beautiful, like
Lake Sherwood Par 3.
okay, out in
Yeah, in
California.
I haven't played Lake Sherwood's actual. That's where Tiger used to always hold his events.
Yeah.
I haven't played the main course. That's once again, like he's saying, I want to be able to hit the ball straight before I play.
For
there.
sure.
But yeah, their little Par 3. I mean,
Oh, I bet it's sick.
it's beautiful. It's got like the whole back 9 is like classic Par 3 holes.
Oh, okay.
So it's sick.
Hell yeah, that's dope.
Yeah.
What about you, Justin?
I would say So this off season, me and a bunch of the guys went to Bears Best in Vegas.
Oh yeah.
And I mean that was pretty sick. Like some of the views, like it was really cool. I'd say that's one of them for sure.
Okay.
I mean Bear Dance, honestly, I
You
just
like
played
Bear
a couple
Dance?
weeks ago, and that was pretty sick.
Yeah, dude, the views from Bear Dance are sick. Like
Yeah. Oh, and Pradera.
Pradera's pretty cool.
Yeah. I think it's like the 17th.
Yeah.
Where you're like on the mountain, basically hitting off the mountain or something like
The
that.
par 5 where
Yeah,
you're like
yeah.
at the very top. Yeah.
Yeah.
The only thing with that course is it's a little like Mickey Mouse. Like some of the greens are crazy where you've got like one tier here and then you go like 30 feet up and then there's another tier.
Yeah.
Like a few of those things I don't like, but that's a really good course. Like, do you have any guys that are members out there? Any teammates?
I don't know if Court is or not. But,
Okay.
Some of the guys might be out there.
Champ and Boss Bailey, when we were little, we played baseball at the baseball field right there in the Pradera, and they both lived in there. Okay. And I played baseball with their kids when, like, this was like 15 years ago, but it was dope. Like, Champ and Boss would show up to our baseball practice and throw the ball with us and shit. And I'm like, yeah, this is insane. So, but yeah, Pradera is pretty cool. Was that, would you say Bear Dance is your favorite in Colorado, though?
Other than Spring Valley, of course.
Yeah, the Valley.
That's
That's
top.
one.
That's the home course.
I'm trying to think. I've played a bunch lately, but like, yeah, I'd say Bear Dance. I mean, so far, there was one other one, I think.
Well, you guys played Red Hawk, right?
I actually like Red Hawk a lot.
You like Red Hawk?
Yeah, for some reason I was able to keep the ball and play a lot there.
I was gonna say you like those wide fairways.
Yeah,
You're like,
exactly.
oh, dude, I'm fucking coming back
It's like,
here.
where have I played good?
Yeah,
exactly.
well, we talk about that on the pod. Like when you could play the most beautiful course and you have the fucking worst day, and you're like, I fucking hate this place. This place
you're
is
like,
garbage
this place is
can.
shit. Yeah, but then you can go to a dog track and play your best round of your life. You're like, I fucking liked it. You're like, I don't know what it is, but I like this place. It's like, well, you played good. Like that's pretty much dictates what you think of a golf course.
Pretty easy to enjoy 4 hours if you're playing well. If you're playing shitty, you don't care how beautiful it is. You're like, this place sucks.
100%. Well, so with you guys being obviously NFL athletes, what do you think is there any comparisons or not comparisons, but like similarities to golf and football? Like mentally, anything like that? Or are they just two totally separate things?
I will say, like, I do think they're like very different in that football, like, you're always like, it's like very like intense, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like you're like, I don't know, you're just
Fucking pumped up.
Yeah, and
with golf, you want to be like as
like
relaxed
football,
as possible.
football, you're almost like wiry, you know what I mean? Like you know what I mean?
Oh, for sure.
But like with golf, it's like I feel like to play 18 holes, like I haven't done it yet. But like to play like 18 good holes, I feel like you got to be like dialed in, relaxed, like focused for 18 holes, and it's honestly hard to stay focused for 18 holes.
It takes a lot of mental discipline.
Yeah.
It really does.
Yeah, I would say like on that, like they're so separate to where like you have to be relaxed and all that stuff, but like the focus that you have to have for like the 60 minutes of focus in football, it's like the same carryover to now 4, maybe 5 hours with your buddies. Like, we're not playing pro golf, so it's like, with your buddies, probably drinking, like, and then to have a game, a round like that where you're on like, 8 or 9, like, oh shit, I might figure this out this time,
Yeah.
It's got to be that because for us, like, focus in football, it's easy. It's easy to, lock in out. We got, 2-hour practice, whatever.
Yeah.
But when you go out there, it kind of, you'll lose it for 2 seconds and now you're, 3 over.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
And so, yeah, to keep that the whole time, I bet it's got to be that, like, same kind of, like, you're in it.
For sure, yeah. There's obviously no physical similarities. Like, you're not getting the shit beat out of you on the golf course. So, but yeah, mentally, I feel like, well, and just like any pro athlete, like you got to be locked in. But golf, it can take 5-6 hours, and you see some dudes out on tour, and I have no idea how. Because I'm just more of a laid back golfer. Like I like to bullshit and have fun, and then about 10 or 15 seconds before my shot, I like to focus. But there's some guys where they like won't talk to you, won't do. They're just like in the zone. I'm like, I need to take drugs to do that. Like I think I need Adderall or fucking something because I can't. I haven't gone to the doctor yet, but I probably need a prescription. But yeah, it's just the focusing aspect. I feel like has got to be at least good. Like when you're in the off season or whatever playing golf, like to kind of get and being athletes, it's just like that competitive nature comes out, and you're like, I want to be good at this. But
yeah, and I think that's like the competitive side like makes it like I don't know about you guys, but when I like play, I got to be playing for something. Like whether
100%,
it's lunch
dude.
after, dinner after, like a little side money, you know what I mean? Like you got to, it makes you focus a little more, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like, gives you
playing
something
for fun is not any fucking fun.
Yeah,
Like, you
exactly,
gotta have a little bit of skin in the game here.
Exactly.
Buying drinks.
Nobody fucking likes that.
Yeah,
But so who's the worst golfer on the team that thinks he's nice? Like, you know, like somebody that goes out there and is like, oh, like fucking takes it all serious, but then is actually
bought all the gear. Oh,
No. I'm decent enough to not get that label.
Yeah, no
but-
one's ever. Yeah, with the amount of shit he talks about sports, if he was bad, I would know.
He's
like
got-
it would be
yeah.
very
Exactly.
like, no, Justin sucks at golfing. Like, so that doesn't happen. So,
okay.
I don't know. I mean, like
You're gonna have to say a name, bro. Just
for that label exactly though, it's not. It's tough. Like
well, just who's the worst and knows their shit, but still like plays on a consistent basis.
I mean, I don't want to. Like, this is my guy. This is my guy here. But like Jay Sims knows he's not like he's
not that-
Yeah, but I mean, he goes out there and does his thing, and we have a blast with him. You know?
Well,
what
yeah,
I mean?
dude. As long as you're having a good time, but like you try to take a little bit of his money then on the course.
Yeah, I mean, we play for little
Do
side
you have to
bets
give him
here and there.
shots, or you guys just straight up?
So what we've done like lately is we try to make it like even teams. So like what we're trying to do in the next couple of days is have me and Josie versus like him and Court. Because I tell you what, like the last 5 times we played, Court's been like legit. Like the first time we played, like Court was like shaky up and down, and then the last 5 times I'm like, we were playing, and me and Josie are like, did he go get lessons? Like what changed? He's
What
been
the
like
fuck?
dialed in, like seriously. So we're trying to get that for later this weekend or something. Me and Josie versus Court and Justin.
Hell yeah, that sounds dope.
Yeah.
Yeah. So do you guys, when you get to go play golf, like you probably don't do it during the season, but like during the summer, when you get to go play golf, do you like try to get like the biggest group you can? Do you guys like all plan that shit out, or is it just like a few? Like, how many guys play? Like, is there a fair amount of them?
Yeah, I would say like what we've done is try to keep it like, I mean, once you get more than 4, it's like, you know what I mean, you gotta
Right.
make kind of like 2 different groups. But I think one time we did like 2 foursomes, you know what I mean, and kind of did like best ball and just played, like had fun that way and stuff, try to make teams even. And then well, I think we were talking about it this week, trying to get like the best players. So like Rippin is a really good player, McManus and Sam Martin, they're like probably the 3 best players on the team. Trying to get them to like have a draft and like go out and play and stuff like that. So we're trying to put that together.
That'd be sick, dude. I've heard McManus is obviously a stick. Being a kicker, you have more time, and
Kickers and quarterbacks, dude. It's like,
Yeah.
it's like being a pitcher in the MLB kind of thing. I mean, well, and actually, the crazy thing about like the physics of kicking a football, actually, like the way you curve it and the way you work it makes sense in golf. Like the way that McManus attacks like the ball mentally, and like the way he's learned how to kick it can actually translate over, which is kind of insane. But I kind of think that gives probably him a little bit of an advantage there, like knowing how I mean, not that he can necessarily do it every time, but he's like, okay, like this is how this works.
Yeah.
Versus everybody else, you know, golf's a completely fucking foreign thing to them. So
we're just out there trying to crush the fucking ball.
Just hit it as hard as you can.
Yeah.
that's always a blast too. I don't hit it that far, but he hits it a fucking long ways. So I usually know where my ball's going. He doesn't.
Yeah, mine is a little more off. So, but yeah, the best part is about like playing here. Like it's like we talked about a little bit earlier. It's so much different. Like when you start playing more
I'm
here,
excited.
dude.
That's all they
It's
talk about. Like you feel like you're just you're a boss out there. Like
Yeah.
you know, I got like a 325, just casual average drive. Like what?
yeah, and like that whole Garbs was talking about at Pradera. Literally, you can hit a 420-yard drive and not hit it that good because it's fucking straight down a
goes.
hill.
Oh yeah, Josie hit one. Got to be one of the longest drives ever there. Like when we were playing, just right down the middle and just rolled. It was crazy. It's crazy on par 5s out here. Like if you have a good tee shot, like you're like birdieing, like for sure.
You've got like a
almost,
short iron in or something. Yeah, you've got
not me, of course, but like if you're like decent at golf, like consistently with the irons in the short game,
He's with a putter already. He's already on the green.
Oh yeah, 100%. He's just driver right on the green.
Well, that's like Red Hawk 18. It's a par 5, but it's literally driver fucking wedge.
Yeah.
Like if you hit it right in front of the water, like it's a fucking 150 yards in, and you're like, all right, and you're like, you're like
this
looking at
is
the scorecard. You're like, what the fuck is this a par 5?
Yeah, it feels like a medium length par 4 and ends up being a par 5. But Have you guys been? Well, so you haven't been yet, but I know the Broncos do some stuff at the Sanctuary. Have you ever heard of the golf course called the Sanctuary?
Yeah, so one of our Bill Kolar, our former D-line coach, he's in a lot of our meetings a lot of time, and he was telling us about Sanctuary the other day. So we've been in contact with their people, and we're trying to get out there.
It's unreal. Like if you can get out there, take the opportunity so it's owned by the owner of Remax that started Remax. He's worth like $350-400 million. So he's got a few dollars to throw around. So he built this course specifically for him and his wife. Like it's unless there's a charity event, they only do charity events. No public play, no members.
Oh, really?
No nothing, just him and his wife and then charity events. So the place is fucking unbelievable, just immaculate. Like
That's
the view,
so sick.
Yeah, exactly. He just built his own personal golf course, basically.
Wonder if he gets pissed.
Oh, I'm sure he does.
Like, this stupid fucking hole, throws his clubs in the pond.
Who
like,
did this?
Fucking
You can't
redesign
blame it
this
on
right
anybody.
now.
Yeah.
What fucking idiot did
put this
this?
fucking tree up? That type of shit.
Yeah, well,
Put
so
some
somebody's
dog
getting
leg
fired.
right here.
Yeah.
we're playing in a charity event there in like 2 weeks, and it's $10,000 a foursome.
Yeah.
Stop.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Like
dude.
we're not paying for it. Like we got some members at our course that are going
Who's
to pay.
playing? The guy,
Dude, it's full. Like 140 people go and do. It's
Well,
fucking
what
nuts.
ends up happening with a lot of those is big corporate companies will come in and buy 4 foursomes, and it's a $250,000 write-off or what. It's like fucking insane, like just to play golf. So, but yeah, if you guys ever get the chance, get out there. It's badass. So.
So let's see. What should we go a couple more football questions before we let him get out of here?
Yeah, I think go for it. I know you fucking got plenty of them.
What are some good fucking football questions?
I would say I'm always most curious about like, what is like something day to day that nobody really realizes that makes your job like hard. Because obviously playing the NFL is like the coolest fucking job in the world, right? Or top 5, it's right up there.
Yeah.
But there's got to be something that like not everybody knows about where you're like this. It's like obviously it's a grind, but is there anything specific that you guys like day to day notice?
I mean, for pro sports wise, so if you take all the 5 major sports, we're the only ones that do meetings that have like hours of endless meetings. So I would say that's the kind of drag on football. We do, we play 1 game a week, and this whole time right now we're meeting and practicing, and then in camp it's we're there from, like we said, 7 a.m. to 10 p.m. I would say 10 of those hours roughly is probably meetings. Like
Damn.
Besides the 2-hour practice and the hour walkthrough, the rest of it is 30 to 45 minutes for eating, and the rest is meetings. And so I would say that's the biggest difference. And I didn't even learn that till I was playing up in Canada in Calgary, and the Flames actually own the Stampeders, and they asked for like more video equipment for games, and the Flames were like, "The fuck you need to film more shit for?" Like, there's no why are you watching film? And they're like, "No, this is And so the budget for film in the CFL was $100K to ask the Flames for that was like, that's ridiculous. So I do know like major sport wise that would be like the downfall of football. It's just how much more meetings we have than everybody else.
That makes sense.
Well, and so I don't know if you guys have ever watched any of the Hard Knocks, but is that like played up at all, or is that like, do they play it up for the camera? Like, I know some players do specifically, but like the meeting shit, like I think the coolest thing about the NFL is like you don't get to see like a lot of that shit. So when that gets released, like everybody like jumps on it because you get to see like inside the meeting rooms and shit like that, because there's so many things you guys know that your coaches have said or players have said or owners or whatever that you would never fucking tell anyone, other than maybe like your closest family or you talk to each other about it. But like there's so much what's the word I'm looking for? Like just out there that people don't know that shit's like said. So is that like played up, do you think? Like when they go on Hard Knocks, they're like, okay, we can only allow this and this to be actually viewed by the people, or is that pretty real?
No, I'd say it's pretty real for the most part. I mean, the one thing I heard they're like trying to fix, like teams don't want it with Hard Knocks, is like teams were actually going back and watching Hard Knocks and using the snap counts and stuff. Like,
that's bullshit.
Yeah,
Smart.
Yeah, it's smart.
Well,
I mean, competitive
It's
advantage.
smart. Yeah, it's smart, but like it just sucks that you can't like expose any of that. So how do they
but it's
control
like-
that?
They
I don't know.
won't.
Yeah, like I think when you see like some of the jokes and stuff in the meeting rooms, like that's real. Cause like, I mean, when you're in the meeting room for 8 hours a day, like there's got to be a joke or two cracked. Cause otherwise it's just, you're literally watching film, talking to your coach, answering questions, you know what I mean? Stuff like that. And that's one, like he was saying, the main thing about football that I think people don't understand. Like if someone's going to make a joke to you about your job in football, they're going to be like, oh, you just show up and practice. Like, no, you got meetings for hours on end. And then at the pro level, like to take care of your body, to do like the day in, day out stuff, that's another couple hours a day just on your body alone. You know what I mean? So it's like there's so many different things that go into it.
Absolutely. Yeah. So with the new ownership coming in, obviously that's like, does that have not an effect on you guys, but like on the team? Does anybody like talk about it? Does it matter to you guys, or is it just kind of like, we got our coaches, we got our specific position coaches. It is what it is.
I think it is what it is. I mean, it's cool. I mean, if you get an owner that will give you a bunch of free shit, obviously you're down for it. But like,
you get an unlimited Walmart gift card now.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You know,
is that like is it official that it's going to be him?
I think he's in like the
no.
It's like the top bid.
Yeah, he's at $4.5 billion or whatever. But
I got that cash.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, someone can outbid him.
Yeah,
I got that cash on the side if we want.
That's what I'm saying. Here's my thing: when someone like,
what can we pull together?
When they buy
now?
A team, like obviously it might just be. I mean, he's probably got enough money to do it. I don't know, but like, are they literally paying outright cash, or do you like finance that?
That is something.
I think this would be a pretty much outright cash thing because he's got so much fucking money. Like if it's like an ownership group, and I've heard that they like even Rob Walton has talked to Peyton Manning about being part of it. But I'm sure if it's more smaller, well, when I say like people that are worth 10 million, 20 million, 30 million, where you got to put 4.5 bill together, I would imagine that would be like a finance thing. But I think the dopest part about Walton is he's so fucking rich. Like he's playing like a new stadium. There's like, there's all this shit that could be in the works for the Broncos in the future. It'd be fucking awesome.
Because it's different. Like when the people say Magic Johnson owns a team, like he's not. He doesn't have $5 billion into the Dodgers organization.
Yeah, exactly.
Like he might, I mean, he's got millions of dollars in the Dodgers organization. But yeah, I would say he's probably like a financier or something. Whatever they
for
big
sure
word they got for it. But like it would be, this dude I think is coming in like. But so we might be walking around in like cotton Walmart tees, like, whatever. Everyone else is wearing Nike
gear
leggings.
For the years.
We're gonna have
Walmart,
like the Walmart.
You guys got fucking Hanes,
Walmart brand,
the
pants.
starter. Yeah, you're like doing warm ups in the starter shit.
We're gonna all look like an 1985 team, like starter gloves, like
that would be kind of fire.
Great value. Great value.
Yeah, great value.
Yeah.
Okay. Here's another one. Who's the funniest dude in the room? Like who keeps the light in the locker room? If you had to pick one.
Oh man, the whole locker room. That's I mean,
is there one dude in particular, or is it like a group, or is it?
Yeah, I mean, you got like Jay Sims is a good. K-Jack, they're funny dudes.
Okay.
It's more like the banter. Well, I would say like
the back
I think,
and forth.
Yeah, everyone
sports talk every day.
The sports talk's more
like the Celtics win game one. I come in laughing at everybody on the team. Then 2 days later, everyone's laughing at me. I walk in to get breakfast. I'm getting laughed at because they got blown out. Like you know what I mean?
Oh, for sure.
That's how it is every day.
Hell yeah.
Like I would say in camp. I mean, I haven't been here, so I don't, know. But I like when camp starts, you'll see the guys that like really start when we're only there right now for 5-6 hours a day, and it's 3-4 days a week. So it's not. I think like the sports talk still, like anything else, a bunch of dudes like that still overpowers everything else going on, like
for sure.
And we don't run out of sports talk yet,
right?
More or less, like
until just baseball's on, and you're like looking at each other like, what the fuck?
It's August,
yeah. That's some terrible shit.
Also, do you guys know like how much does an owner make a year off of like how long will it take the owners to get their $4.5 billion?
Dude, I don't. Do you know?
You said never.
They said the dude. But didn't the Rams owner, with the Super Bowl and the Rams winning and the like bonuses and stuff, they said he made like a good chunk back for I guess moving the team to LA. I guess maybe not what he owns them for, but moving back to LA costing obviously a couple $1 billion and whatever. But I guess he had at least made $1 billion.
Yeah.
Hosting. Well, he owns that stadium too, so hosting the Super Bowl. I think that was more than
hosting this. Dude, it just it's even like hard to wrap your head around that kind of money and like I was even talking to Spencer yesterday and I was like, dude, so the Broncos are going to sell for $4.5-5 billion, massive. Twitter, a thing that we're on every day, which is just a phone app, is going to sell for 10 times that, which is fucking insanity. Like it's hard to wrap your head around that, but like some of that money just it's too
Yeah.
much.
Yeah.
Like it's just fucking nuts. So you played in the CFL.
Yeah.
What do you think the difference is there? Like,
Oh.
is it casual up there? Like, is it dope or do you?
I loved it. I
Okay.
think everyone I loved it. I mean, you're obviously not making the same money, so
Yeah.
I guess it's different. But so what I learned obviously going up there that people don't know is Americans going up there, it's part-time employees. So it's like anything. If you get a visa to go somewhere, so you were only allowed to work 5 hours a day for a 20-hour work week. So they couldn't do what we do here, where we have practices Monday through Friday, where we were there from 7 to 7 on a day one during a week. Up there, it's 9 to 1, no matter what. So
That's fire.
It was fun though,
I'd
and
take that
it
work
starts
day.
in June. So in Calgary, I mean, you're sitting at a patio, looking at I would say I think a lot of people call like Denver South Calgary. People from Canada, they love Denver's like. Yeah, almost identical. It's right off the Rockies, just like this. Banff and Kananaskis and all that's right there. It's the same thing as here, and so it's that every day we would go do that. You got off work at 1 o'clock. So what do you do? What do you do when it's
Go
80
drink
degrees
beers
and
on
it's
a
perfect in
rooftop.
June? Like you go drink beers on a rooftop. So yeah, it's fun, and also like I said, the money whole thing. Teams aren't selling for $5 billion. We have full cafeteria staffs here. You have full everything. Up there, we had pizza on day one.
They're
Day
like pizza
two-
day.
Day two, we didn't have anything. And day three, we did a players barbecue. And every guy that was hurt, so the guys that were hurt, so rookies each position group, because there was 21 weeks, we had 3 bye weeks with 18 games.
Damn.
Every week was a different position group would pay, so everyone would chip in like $20, and the coaches would go buy stuff to barbecue, and the injured guys would barbecue, and that was our food. And then breakfast
wild.
was they had waffles and they had waffles and bread to make like toast, and that was it. Like if you wanted something else, and then I know one year we all pitched in like $15 every 2 weeks to have like a catered breakfast where you get like a breakfast burrito 2 times out of the 3 days in a week. So I mean it's
Fucking burrito day. Let's go.
and you would get hyped about it, but it's definitely a different league. But
That's
it's-
fire, dude. I think
Yeah.
it sounds
sick.
like a
It's
blast.
fun. Oh yeah, and like teams, so it's kind of a lot. It's Canadian, so it's a lot. It's kind of got the hockey, soccer, like kind of mixed to it. The teams in the East and the CFL are on the same sideline because they play on the soccer fields. The fields, so it's set up to have one sideline. So
That's wild.
you're on the same sideline. When teams travel up there, because it's expensive to travel and charter flights, so the East teams, because they're all so close together, they don't charter planes, so they fly commercially. So they would say if you're in Toronto, they'd fly to Calgary, we'd play, but they would also stay the night. So then you'd all go out together.
Oh,
And
okay.
so both teams, so it was kind of like the hockey, rugby, that kind of mix of, people weren't separated. And there's only 9 teams, and you play everybody 3 times. So now it's
That's
like,
fire.
you're traveling, you're partying together. It's kind of cool. You get to know everybody. It's a totally different.
a lot more of a camaraderie
Oh,
type
yeah.
thing than
yeah,
the
as
NFL.
a league. It's kind of like, the league. You have to work together to continue to, have leagues like that.
Yeah.
And the NFL, you kind of don't. Guys can kind of, and it's just different, when you have guys making 10s and 20s and 30s and millions of dollars, and the difference in the CFL, the highest paid players, 500,000, and minimums just under 100.
Okay.
So no one, you're not having I guess you could have multi-millionaires, but you're not really.
Yeah.
And so everyone's kind of living that same lifestyle.
Yeah. I mean, but you're still playing football for a living.
Oh
so
yeah, it was
you're
the
like,
best.
this is fucking awesome.
Everyone should watch a CFL game. It's fun. Special teams matter. It's 3 downs. It's fun. It's a fun game to watch.
Fuck yeah. So last question before we get out of here for both you guys. What is your favorite, so it can be kind of a 2-parter. What's your favorite city to travel to NFL wise? And then what's the maybe the most crazy atmosphere just going into running out onto a field? What's the craziest stadium you've been at?
I mean, last year was my first year, so I would say, I mean, for me it was, even though the stadium and the fans weren't crazy Jacksonville, but I was able to have so much family and friends at the game that it was really cool. So I'd say that was kind of the place last year, just the way that was pretty cool. And then I mean that game against New York was my first career start. I mean, coming out of the tunnel at Mile High was honestly pretty overwhelming. So I'd say, I mean,
that shit's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
I'm stoked for you to see it and and be in it because it's fucking nuts.
We came
dude.
here last year.
Oh, I remember. Well, I blacked out that game.
We
But
came here last year.
I remember that
shit,
game.
Yeah, I
but
was
as
not
a
fan.
wearing orange this
I
time,
agree.
yeah. But it's fucking nuts. So yeah, what about I'm excited for you. Well, you've probably seen it, but Seattle game 1.
Yeah,
even though
Seattle's cool.
That's gonna be
I think it'll
fucking-
be a different kind of vibe. Like no Russ. I think.
Yeah,
it'll
what do
be
you guys
like,
think? You guys think does Russ get booed or does he get
I think
they
he'll-
gotta have a tribute for him and stuff, right?
Well, dude, in my opinion, it almost feels like more of the fans of Seattle are on Russell's side versus Carroll's
Yeah.
side.
Yeah.
Because I think it seems like that's where they're a little divided. So I think
so they're cheering.
I think you think they're gonna boo?
Yeah, because the organization has sold them that Russ forced his way out.
I don't know, dude, but
but it's
there's
also
definitely gonna be
Seattle.
some boos
It's
for
Seattle.
sure.
They're like American Canadians. They're nice people.
Yeah,
they're not.
exa-
They don't have that
yeah,
Also, probably the best player in their franchise's history.
that's
has
true.
to be right.
Yeah,
There's no-
that's true.
Yeah, I think.
Dude, I think it might be a mixed bag, a little bit of cheering, a little bit of booing. But I mean, I could say I've never really been through that as a fan, so I don't really know. Having a star pick, I will say I'm when Nolan Arenado left the Rockies, even though it wasn't necessarily his fault, I still fucking hate the guy now. So I'm that bitter fan.
So
you
how do you
know?
feel about Trevor Story then?
Yeah, if Trevor Story comes back.
Trevor
you boo him?
Story wasn't as big of a deal as Nolan. I think more people understood where Story was coming from. But Story is obviously raking out in Boston. So
They did offer Story, right? Contract.
yeah,
and he
they
turned
offered
down, right?
offered him money. I mean,
Yeah.
it just comes down to winning with the Rockies. So it's kind of a horrible comparison because
Yeah.
we know what their intentions are pretty much year in, year out. But so what are your guys' favorite just nightlife cities to travel to then? Just going out with your buddies.
I mean, Atlanta's pretty cool. I've been to Atlanta.
I've heard
for-
Atlanta is one of the low key. It's not New York. It's not Miami. It's not LA. But I heard it's badass.
Yeah, I went there in college one time, my senior year or before my senior year of college, with some of the guys for UFC 236. And it was a pretty sick time. So
Okay.
I mean, Atlanta's pretty cool. Trying to think.
Heard they have really
Vegas
good chicken
is
wings.
always. Vegas
Oh,
is
yeah,
always
I
a
mean,
top.
Vegas
It's
is-
Vegas. I mean, that's Vegas.
Yeah, Vegas is tough to top.
I know. I haven't been to Nashville, and this is as a drinker, I'm a.
Let's be real here.
Let's I should and a country guy, I should be born in
dude.
Nashville more or less. If I went to the Titans, my career would probably be shortened.
There's a reason they call it Nash Vegas, dude. It's a fucking party.
I've never been. My dad says
Yeah.
it's insane.
Oh my
I'm
God.
setting up a time where I know I got a week and I got a week recovery.
Yeah.
It needs to be because I'm gonna go. It's I'm gonna treat it more
I would
than
try to
Vegas.
be single if you're in Nashville. That's if you. I mean,
I've heard.
Well, we
Yeah,
went to that game, the Broncos game in Nashville, probably 6-7 years ago.
Yeah.
Fucking Elway was buckled at Tootsie's at the bar the night before the game, dude.
Oh, yeah,
he was
dude.
sitting there just fucking nobody. And in there, Elway's Elway, but he's older now. Doesn't look
Yeah.
exactly people
Yeah.
didn't recognize him a ton.
Oh.
But he was just sitting there, just fucking pounding drinks.
So he wasn't urban.
we were out on Broadway, and so were all the Broncos players. It was the night before the fucking game, so that was pretty wild. But
They say Broadway's sick. Yeah.
it's super sick.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
that's
big.
like a must. That's like a need on my list of. San Diego, though, is cool too.
San Diego,
Diego's
yeah, it's
fun.
pretty laid back though, right?
laid back. Yeah. New York, L.A.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh boy, we may have to do a
London,
pod today.
Nashville, Vegas.
Yeah,
Might not
Vegas,
find
man.
that.
Fucking Singleton's a healthy scratch in Nashville. What the fuck?
They're going to London, Nashville. Those are almost back to back
Came
with a
down
bye
with the
week in the
flu.
middle.
Yeah, you're I need some fucking time after that.
I haven't counted.
Flu-like symptoms for Singleton the morning of the game in Nashville.
A lot of vomiting. You must have got a
4
bug.
Michael Jordan games in a row. Are you ever going to get healthy?
I performed my best at that point.
Oh, that's fucking
fuck,
awesome.
dude.
Well, we appreciate you guys joining us. Fucking good luck this year. We we're obviously everybody. The city's fucking amped. This team's gonna be fucking badass. Getting Russ was obviously a huge deal. Just having a guy that we I'm not gonna talk shit about Drew Lock, especially on fucking on a podcast, but it's just not take the play out of it. It's just a different expectation now, and having a new coaching staff and all that shit fresh. I'm stoked for you guys, and I think it's gonna be a fucking badass year.
And we need to get you guys out on the golf course and fuck.
to.
We need to. We'll get your swing straightened out, bro. I've been telling you guys, whenever you want it, we'll get you straight. So, hell yeah, City Park right here. But
what do you guys got going on this weekend? I'll play. He's gone, but I'm here all weekend.
Shit,
so
what am I
playing.
doing this weekend? Oh, I'm going to Chicago.
Yeah, nice.
So I'm out. I don't know what the hell he's
Also
doing.
a great city to go out in.
Oh yeah, I'm looking forward to it for sure.
Yeah, it's a great spot to fucking eat. That's for
Oh
sure.
yeah, I'm gonna
Deep
eat
dish.
my weight. 100%. Well, thanks again, boys. We really appreciate it, and hopefully we can do this again.
Yeah,
Maybe
appreciate you guys having
maybe
us
this
on.
fall.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, for sure.